Gideon and His Servant. Wow, the story of Gideon, one of the most heroic stories in the entire Bible. Gideon and his servant. The reason that Gideon's servant's name is recorded in this whole story is to bring increased mathematical glory to Jesus. We see here in Judges 7 that God himself says to Gideon, if you're afraid to go down, go with this specific person, Phurah, your servant, down to the host. Why does God pick this man? Because it brings mathematical glory to Jesus, as we'll see now. And furthermore, his name starts with PH, which is 80 exactly. His name is exceedingly loaded with 8. Exceedingly. So watch this now. This will blow your mind. We're going to look at both Gideon and Phurah, his servant, which God says, this is the guy I want you to take down. Okay? God says this for the mathematical glory of Jesus. So, here's Gideon, first of all. Gideon. His name is exactly 133, which equals 19 times 7. Well, by the law of prime, 19 is our one and only 8th prime. Okay? And then times 7. Remember, 7 is the number of a set of like things. So, it's all shining stardom on Mr. 8 for Gideon. Now, look at his servant that God says, choose this guy, Phurah. His name equals 285, which is 19 times 15, which is the 8th prime times 15. Wow. So again, this is all shining stardom on Mr. 8 here, completely. His not only that, but his friend's name starts with the letter 80. Whoops. Good old reversal here. Microsoft Word. There we go. First letter is, my goodness. All right, so the first letter is now this white one right here. So 80 is right here, the first letter of this servant's name. And that equals the 8th prime times 15. Watch, 15 breaks down, of course, to 3 times 5. And of course, 5 is our one and only 3rd prime. Do you see how Jesus equals 8 at 8? Ends up taking the glory for everything. Here's an 8, tripled, and then ultimately multiplied another 3 in there. You've got to understand the law of prime, how that works, and then it's just everywhere. The gold spills into the streets for Jesus equals 8 at 8. But again, the common factor in both of these men is the one and only 8th prime. So together, look at their ordained total. Gideon is 5 letters. His servant Phurah is 3 letters. Gideon and Phurah is 8 letters in total. That's to the glory of Jesus equals 8 at 8. Gideon and his servant, 8 letters. Together, they make this 3-digit all-factor 8 number. You've got to appreciate how incredible that this is. This is an all-factor 8 number. Every single digit is a factor of 8, 1 and 4 and 8. Furthermore, it's a 3-digit number, 1, 2, 3. Again, that total is made by combining 8 letters exactly, Gideon and Phurah. Furthermore, I see this obvious combination that putting Gideon and Phurah side by side, the last letter of Phurah is 5, the first letter of Gideon is 3, 5 and 3 is 8 perfectly. These guys were meant to be linked together in their in the plan of God, in his battle plans. So, and of course that equals the 8th prime times 22 in total. 3-digit all-factor 8 number glorifies the number 8 and the number 22, which is also 7n plus 1, and that's accomplished in 8 letters exactly. So, and again, that's accomplished in 8 letters exactly. And the first letter of the servant's name is 80, followed by 200. So all these things are to the glory of Jesus equals 8 at 8. The fact that God commanded Gideon to take this one man, Phurah, is to the mathematical glory of his son, Jesus. Amen.